Hello and welcome to my show. Thank you for watching. Footage in the background is Blacklight Retribution playing some team deathmatch on Helo deck. So today, coming right off the gate, I'd like to talk about customization, because that is something this game does spectacularly. I don't know about most people, but I am a sucker for customization. Like, if I can make my armor look cool, I don't care if the game is really bad. I'll play it for at least a month, just to make myself look cool, then I'll quit. And also with the gun customization in this game, it's so in-depth. Like, not only can you make your gun look cool, not just aesthetically, but you can look at your stats and adjust your hip spread to like 1,000th. Yes, it gives you actual numbers and data, and it's spectacular. Like, you can suit your set your gun up to be a bolt action sniper, a submachine gun, and you can affect or adjust all of your attachments to affect that, and that is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. But this game does it correctly though. You don't get many customization options with your visuals except for your gun unless you pay, and it's a free-to-play game. That is how it should be done. Much like how PlanetSide 2 is going to be. You're going to have, they're going to give you stuff that you can change into, but all the cool stuff, all the good stuff, yeah, is going to be pay. But it's not going to be too expensive. Now this game kind of goes over the edge with microtransactions. It's not like 10 cents like what a microtransaction, in my opinion, is supposed to be. They want to charge you like 20 bucks to be purple, but I would totally pay 20 bucks to be purple in this game. That's another story. But I feel like they need to get back to actual microtransactions, but it's a good way to do it. This is the way you need to do free-to-play games. And it's questioned that this game's a little pay to win because you can get these bullets. See, I just got killed. The burning sensation. That gun shoots bullets to where once you get shot, it does like a damage over time effect with fire. Call it what you want, but I don't really think it's that unfair because it does cost a lot and it only lasts 30 days. Because you rent things in this game if you haven't played it, but you cannot permanently buy burning bullets. You can only rent them for 30 days. So it's not too unfair of an advantage because people are going to be spending a lot of money, and I'm sure eventually people do not want to keep spending that much money just to get a slight edge. And I usually can kill people who have it pretty easily just because it's not the stuff you buy in this game that makes you better. It's how good you are at the game, and you just got to find your playstyle. However, I still think this game shines in its customization. Like, honestly, I feel like if it didn't have the customization it did, I probably wouldn't like it as much. Like not just in terms of the gameplay, but the game as a whole. Like, it's pretty fun, but I think part of what makes it fun is how I've kind of created my gun and my character. And you can see here I bought a Half-Life crowbar during a little thing they were doing. And I just got a sick, like, triple kill with crowbars. But, see, that's it. That's the best thing about it, because you can buy things and it makes you happy. I like the crowbar. It's probably one of the coolest things I have in a video game. I mean, who doesn't want a Gordon Freeman crowbar and run around and go, Gordon Freeman, and just kill people? That is the best thing ever. Best thing ever. But customization is something that I feel like is really important in games nowadays because it's not so much of just killing anymore. Back when COD 4 came out and Battlefield 2 was out, it's not just about tactics and killing. I mean, that's fun, don't get me wrong, I love tactics and killing, that's probably the best part about FPS. But you gotta add some sort of thing on top of it, like customization. I feel like if you kind of combined Battlefield 3's platoon emblem creation system, but let you do that with your own custom images and stuff, but just maybe go through a checking system so people don't put swastikas and penises up. That in this kind of game, with this game's kind of clan system, and the competitive environment in this game would be pretty cool. Like, Battlefield's not really that competitive, like in a competitive environment. Only with, like, a lot of people, and I don't know about you, but I feel like Blacklight would be more entertaining to watch in an esports environment than Battlefield 3 would be. But combining Battlefield 3's customization for platoons or clans in this game would be pretty cool. I think that would be a big boost for this game. Speaking of Battlefield 3, I kind of wanted to talk about the new game type they announced for Aftermath. They've announced a new game type for Aftermath called Scavenger. And this sounds like something that would make me go back to Battlefield more. I play Battlefield like once a month now, because usually after the DLCs drop, I just kind of I'm done with it. But this game type sounds amazing. So I'm just going to explain it a little bit real quick. So there's a map, obviously. And not only is the map kind of destroyed, but it can break out into an earthquake at any time. Just take that in for a second. You could be playing a game, and at any moment, the environment can erupt into an earthquake, and things can fall over and kill you. Now tell me that is not badass. Also, you start out with nothing. I think you get a machete, which is a new weapon, and you have to scavenge the map for crossbows and guns, and typically they have hardly any ammunition at all. Hence the name Scavenger. And it's a conquest game type. You know, flags, gotta capture them, but with limited ammunition. To me, that sounds like you're adding an awesome metagame type style to Battlefield 3. Now, Battlefield 3 itself right now is pretty balanced, so it doesn't really have a metagame. And for those of you who don't know what metagaming is like, for instance, StarCraft 2 is a huge metagame. Metagaming is when pretty much you know how it's gonna go, and the skill is how they handle it. Because, you know, there's different builds and everything that everybody knows that exists, and you know that's how the game's going to be played. But like with Battlefield 3, you know which way people are going to go, but that's not necessarily a metagame. Metagame would be like, know what gun the person's going to use, know what tactic they're using, but people really just don't clan up like that in Battlefield as much as they should. But you're kind of adding a metagame to Battlefield 3 with this new Scavenger game type, because depending on if the weapons spawn in different places on the map is going to depend on whether or not this is going to make it a metagame or not. Because if they all spawn in the same spot, yeah, it's going to be a metagame. Like, that was one of the best parts about Halo, is starting off with pistols, and whoever gets to the weapons first pretty much wins. So if that's the case, if they make it like an arena type style with Scavenger, then most definitely it's going to have a metagame. I think metagames are good. That's why I'm looking forward to PlanetSide 2, because it is essentially Battlefield 3 with a metagame. And a different art style and lore. They're similar, okay, but it's going to get a metagame, which is pretty nice, because, you know, there's going to be certain tactics that you could use, and people are going to know the tactics. You know, you're going to start hearing things like double max quads infiltrate or some shit like that rush, and people are going to know what you're talking about. And I can't wait for it. And if you guys didn't hear, PlanetSide 2 got announced November 20th. They're going to launch with 3 continents. That's pretty badass. So if you guys want to get up on that, you should. So I believe that's all I have to say for today. So thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. And bye.